y'all, happy Monday. Today we're gonna be talking about chapter 18 of You Are a Badass. This one is more about procrastination. So you driving crazy in Florida. This one is about procrastination. So she does talk about different misconceptions that we have, different excuses, kind of like the self-limiting thoughts that we talked about a couple chapters ago, that we use to not take the next step or to not start the new side hustle, the new podcast, or whatever you're looking to start right now. So one of the first misconceptions that she talks about is that we know a lot more and we have a lot more skills than we give ourselves credit about, right? A lot of times it's not really lack of knowledge of skills. It's really that we're so scared of taking the first step. We're so scared of the hard work that's going to take us to the next goal. So it's easy to just be like, oh, I'm incapable of doing that, or I really don't know. I really don't have all the knowledge that's necessary to complete the activity or to take the first step. So we use that as an excuse so we don't risk it. That way we're not uncomfortable. That way we're not taking the first step and putting ourselves out there. She also talks about how passion trumps fear, and that also we are usually drawn to, attracted to things that we're passionate about. And the cool part about that she was mentioning is that when you love something, when you have that passionate desire to reach that goal or to do the activity or whatever side hustle you're in love with, you would like to make all of your income from something that you love doing it, you'll find a way. When you don't really want it that much, when you don't really love it that much, you just find an excuse instead. So I thought that was super powerful. And then the last thing that she talks about is not trying to be perfect. It's better to be done than to be perfect. First things is that it's never going to be perfect anyways. No matter how much you prepare yourself, you're always going to make mistakes. There's always going to be something that didn't go exactly the way that you wanted to go, even more because we can't control all of our environment, right? We only can really control the things that we do and the things that we say. So it's not going to be perfect anyways. Might as well start imperfect and progress with it over time, perfect it over time, improve it over time. So I know as entrepreneurs, like that's the mistake that a lot of us do. Like we could achieve our goals a lot faster if we didn't try to make sure that every single step of the way is just perfect. That's where she mentioned about the best teacher is necessity. So usually if you keep waiting for you to start something only when it's perfect, a lot of times you don't even start, or it takes you years for something that should just take you a few weeks to get started. But when she talks about the best teacher being necessity is the momentum. When you get started, it's really hard for you to stop because you want to keep going, right? So like let's say that you have to make a business presentation but you don't feel good about it yet. If you just schedule the date, necessity, right? Necessity is the best teacher. You know that by that day you got to be ready. So you're giving yourself a deadline for your side hustle, for your business, because a lot of times when you own your own business or when you're an entrepreneur, you don't have deadlines, right? Like you're your own boss. So when you start giving yourself deadlines, the necessity that comes with developing those skills or feeling more comfortable with the business presentation, then it makes you want to be done. It makes you want to be comfortable by the time. So you'll practice, you get shit done because you're not just waiting for it to be perfect. Right now you have a deadline. You got to finish. You got to be ready by then. Honestly, one of my favorite tips from this chapter was to know yourself. Like figure out where you usually stop. Like where do you usually get that block that you start procrastinating, that you stop moving, and figure out how to stop it. So it could be different things like delegating. If it's something that you can hire somebody else to do it, then that's fine. You can delegate, or hiring a coach to coach you through it, to hold you accountable through those parts. She gives a lot of different examples. For me, like one of the things that I don't like about my business is batch content creating content, right? Like I'm fine with like the stories. I love talking to you guys on the stories. With doing like the book chapters, but having to make a lot of reels in just one day, it's something that I always had a block on. So my way of procrastinating was cleaning. So I realized that like what I would get to is if there's anything in my house that wasn't clean or organized, I would take as long as I could to finish up those tasks, because I know once I finished that I was gonna have to create 14 reels in 1 hour or whatever. So when you figure out what stops you, then you gotta figure out a different pattern, a different way for you to execute the activity more efficiently, right? So for me, what I had to do is I figure out that every Sunday I do like a deep clean on my house. There's nothing out of place. And then usually on Monday morning I research my content, and Tuesday night I record it, because there's nothing to be clean at my house anymore. At that point, like there's nothing else I can do in my house, so I just gotta get home from the nutrition club and record it. So I'm just figuring out those patterns. For some people, you could be like whether you're writing a book and whenever you sit down, you start doing other things in your house. So a lot of people go write a book in the park or in a different environment that they're not gonna have their consistent excuse, I guess, their consistent procrastination habits that usually stop them from getting that started, right? So it's about really figuring out what works for you and what doesn't work for you, and then figure out a different way to do it versus living your life in this unending cycle of procrastination, right? So then you learn to be more efficient and get things done in a lot more efficiently and in a lot faster time. So that was chapter 18, guys. I thought they were very, very valuable tips, and for me, a lot of little wake-up calls of like excuses that I currently use to not get to my goals as fast as I should. But I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope y'all have an incredible Monday, an incredible week, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.